What's up, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit, and tonight we're going to go over AEW Dynamite for November 2nd, 2022. What I would consider one of the weirdest Dynamites ever, question mark, is what I would call this. Very surprising appearances. Because one of these I wouldn't really call a debut because we saw one of these people at Forbidden Door. We also saw a vignette for the teasing the return of the House of Black. We also saw a vignette doing the tease of the Elite coming back, and probably one of the biggest fuck yous to CM Punk, and possibly of him never returning to AEW with the return of Colt Cabana. That and much, much more. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below. Follow the social media at Misfit Wrestle TV and or on Instagram at Misfit Wrestling Pod, and the Facebook Misfit Wrestling Podcast somewhere on Facebook, wherever that's at, and wherever you're fine podcasts will be fine. We'll figure out where we're going to put some of the stuff. I may end up putting this stuff on iTunes, maybe, who knows. There's a good chance I might put all this stuff on iTunes. But, we're going to go over AEW Dynamite. Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't do Raw this week. Raw was not that good of an episode. One of the few things I will talk about here before I get to Dynamite. I love that Sanity Nikki Cross is back. There's a sort of remix of Sanity, our new take on the Sanity theme, which you can tell is a new take on Primus's "My Name Is Mud," which is a huge plus for me. People are losing their mind over stupidest thing about the Io Sky and Alexa Bliss spot, quote unquote. There's now people. Mostly Alexa Bliss stands, not all of them, because some of these Alexa Bliss stands actually have brains, but the people who don't are the fucking idiots here. Saying that, oh, he hit her too hard in the head. I'm like, I watched the video back. She kicked her in the back of the shoulder very lightly. Alexa Bliss probably didn't think that was too lightly and didn't think it was in the back, but it was in the back. You really shouldn't fucking try to go out into a real fist fight with the Japanese professional wrestlers, the people who do the Japanese strong style. I wouldn't have done that. And then for whatever reason, Io and Dakota lose the tag titles and then are going to be getting a rematch on Saturday. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Another thing that didn't make a lot of sense was Dakota. Was Alexa Bliss and Asuka coming out to help Bianca when, storyline wise, even though I know because Alexa was dealing with the finger injury, they were nowhere to be seen at not TLC, at Extreme Rules, and Bianca took out the rest of the Damage Control by herself, 3-on-1. Didn't need their help at all. But now she needs their help. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. I did watch the Johnny Gargano a segment. That was pretty funny. But I guess I'm confused. I'm still confused with what the fuck is going on with that. I don't know what's gonna happen next. They did announce Bray Wyatt for Crown Jewel. We'll see what happens there. Carl Anderson was pulled from the show, that's the New Japan show on November the 5th. I forgot who's replacing him in the match with Hikuleo. They're not stripping Carl Anderson of the championship. It's a work. Sorry. It's not real. It's a work. In my opinion, it's a work. New Japan knew about this Crown Jewel match months in advance. They also knew about the return that they were going back to WWE months in advance. New Japan isn't in on it. Speaking of, well, it's not really New Japan related, but Pro Wrestling Noah over the weekend. Uh, over the weekend, I don't remember what. I think it was a Sunday sometime Sunday. No, actually, it was Saturday. No, it was Sunday morning, early Sunday morning. Uh, Pro Wrestling Noah announced that the Great Muta, who will be doing his retirement tour on January 1st, will be going one-on-one with WWE's Shinsuke Nakamura. Something when I saw this, I'm like, I'm sorry, what? So that's gonna be cool. Nakamura going over to Japan, wrestling Great Muta in one of the final matches of Muta's career. And I think WWE gets in return here is Muta in the Hall of Fame and a possible Royal Rumble appearance. Muta's last match under the Great Muta, I believe, is also in January, but I think it's January 23rd. He'll be teaming with Sting. Take on opponents to be named. But his full retirement's going to happen in New Japan Pro Wrestling on February 28th, I believe. So that should be pretty good. I will talk about what's going to happen with me for SmackDown. Because I will not be here to unfortunately cover SmackDown. I've already seen the spoilers, so I know what's going to happen. Because the show was taped last week. I know what's going to happen. But I will not be talking about spoilers here. I will be at the fair on Friday night, so I won't be able to watch the show. Again, I will not be covering Crown Jewel, but I will be talking about it on the social media and all that stuff. So, Dynamite. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite. Dynamite was one of the weirdest, probably one of the most disappointing episodes of AEW Dynamite. Not any of the championship matches that happened tonight were any good. It's just very weird. We have a new match announced for Full Gear, of course. We'll talk about that when we get to it. We had an incredible video package, hyping or teasing the return of the House of Black. It was great to see. I've missed Malachi Black on my TV screen and all that good stuff. But what's kicked off the show was Darby Allin losing to Jay Lethal. That's what Darby Allin does. Match starts. Darby Allin starts attacking Lethal as Lethal's making his way down to the ring. But that doesn't work as the veteran slams into the ring apron out with Allen's taped ribs. Allen starts firing back through jumping off the timekeeper's table to attack him. Then Darby Allin clotheslines Jay Lethal over the top rope out to the ring as Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh are making their way to the ringside. There was a really hilarious bump by Darby Allin. Darby goes out for the first patented suicide dive and just runs slap dive into Satnam Singh, who Darby just fucking bounces off of like a goddamn like kind of like Rey Mysterio did on the trailer park on Nitro, where Nash threw Ray into the fucking like a dart and just tossed him. That was pretty funny. We get back to the match here. Lethal starts going, tries to go for a King's Elbow, but it reverts into a crucifix pin. Then goes for the lethal injection That is then reversed as well with Darby Allin putting him into a choke submission. Darby then releases the move, transitions it right into a stunner. But as he goes for the top rope to hit the coffin drop, Jay Lethal rolls out to the ring. Darby Allin launches himself out to the ring. Like I said, hits him with tries to hit the suicide dive and bounce off that thing. The officials then throw out Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh. However, with the official distracted, somebody with a Sting mask on and jacket appears, hitting Darby with a baseball bat, then throws Darby back into the ring. Lethal connects with a lethal injection for the win. After the match, the master figures were revealed to be Cole Carter of the Factory, which got zero reaction. You could hear a pin drop when that mask came off. The four began to beat down Sting until began to beat down Darby Allin. Sting's music kicks, but he doesn't appear. And then from behind Darby Allin, out of nowhere, I didn't see this coming. Jeff fucking Jarrett comes in there and nails Darby Allin with a guitar. He tells Allin, because he gets on the mic, he got a lesson from the last outlaw, as Darby is bleeding everywhere. Jarrett says Sting has become one of his biggest weaknesses, and he explains that wherever the Jarretts went, they left an impact. Probably pun intended there. He assures that when he has got done in this play, when he's done in AEW, there will be body bags and people can choke on that, and he calls everybody slapnuts. So Jeff Jarrett is in AEW, and we found out earlier via Tony Khan that he is All Elite, and he is now the AEW Director of Business Development. Tony Khan tweeted out, "Welcome to AEW Dynamite to the new AEW Director of Business Development at Real Jeff Jarrett. I look forward to expanding the AEW live events calendar in 2023 and in the future with Double J." So that should be the Jeff Jarrett thing came out of left field for me. I didn't see it coming. I don't know where it's going, but I'm kind of excited in a way. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting. I am assuming it's going to be Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus Darby Allin and Sting at Full Gear. That's just my I guess, but we'll see what happens there. That was very interesting fucking swerve. I didn't see that coming. So kudos to AEW for surprising me on that one. Jon Moxley backstage. The AEW World Champion addressing his opponent, Lee Moriarty, says that if Ali has any revenge boiling in him, now would be the time. It would be the right time to bring it to the surface, as he wants to face him. He wants him to be violent. Then we had a video package, which they started doing these last week. I didn't get last week. I didn't get to cover Dynamite or SmackDown. I apologize for that. Last week was a very hectic week with everything that was going on with death in the family and whatnot. So unfortunately, that's why I didn't do any Dynamite or SmackDown review. I will actually talk about one thing I actually enjoyed from SmackDown at the end of the show. At the end of the show, at least. We had a video package showing the Elite winning the trios titles at I must have Forbidden Door at All Out, but someone, I don't know who's editing it, replaces the footage with Death Triangle winning the titles from Best Friends. The three men were taken out of the graphic. That I think it was whichever graphic was that they had promoted the Elite in front of, I believe, after they won the tag titles, the trios titles. Next up, Jon Moxley defeated very quick fashion Lee Moriarty, with a Border City stretch. Then hits the a hammerlock elbow. If puts him in submission. Match was not all that memorable. I like Lee Moriarty, but this was not really that memorable, unfortunately. And Moxley, this is getting Moxley to full gear and weird. Last week's segment. Okay, so I didn't get to talk about this last week. So last week they did a weird fucking angle where the firm turned on MJF, but I think it was all done by design. I think by the end of this, MJF is going to be revealed as the one who funded this whole thing of the firm turning on him and getting beat up by the firm and whatnot. We didn't see MJF at all tonight. But the main event is confirmed. It is official. MJF. We established this 2 weeks ago. It'll be MJF versus Jon Moxley at the pay-per-view. Ethan Page, who's on commentary, came out, lays Moxley out to the ring. And Ethan Page is confirmed for the Eliminator tournament. Those names, I believe that was confirmed. We do have 2 names for that tournament. The All Elite Eliminator tournament. Dante Martin and Ethan Page. We're gonna find out some more about those Eliminator tournament names on Friday for Rampage. There's that. We were supposed to have a sit-down interview with both Saraya and Britt Baker. Only Renee Paquette and Saraya were here. Basically, Saraya says that Britt Baker doesn't give a damn about anybody else but herself, which I don't know. Maybe. I'm not going to get in that whole can of worms because I don't want to, when I get to that match, I'll probably say a few things here. I don't want to get on anybody's bad side there. But the crust of this segment was next week we'll find out whether or not Paige is absolutely cleared to wrestle. All she said that she has one more doctor to consult with. That meaning Britt Baker next week. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Britt Baker versus Saraya at Full Gear. So next up, we got a pretty good segment. Actually, this was actually my favorite segment of the night. My second favorite segment of the night because my favorite segment actually was the House of Black stuff. We got Billy Gunn's birthday bash. The Acclaim make their way to the ring. The AEW tag titles. They start. This is so basically what happened on Dynamite, not Dynamite, Rampage, was a Swerve abducted Billy Gunn, had him tied up in the back room. I guess cut either dislocated his fingers, his scissoring fingers. Big scissor me daddy. Chant broke out. They had foam hands, which scissor me foam hands, which I thought was funny because 2 seconds into it, Excalibur slugged awshop.com, which was pretty funny. Bowens believes it is in fact everyone loves the Acclaimed. Caster heads to the floor, takes a sign from a fan, which is a pair of scissors, which with a birthday hat on them, which is funny. World's Greatest Daddy Bowens says he had guest plans, but the 2 canceled at the last minute. The rest weren't happy. He didn't go to the reunion. This is bad, which I think was a nod to the DX stuff. Bowens showcased a certificate of adoption was Acclaimed. They both signed it before Gunn and his 2 sons, Colton and Austin, came out. They start beating up the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass with W. Morrissey and I believe Stokely Hathaway was out there. Out comes FTR. Uh, they come for the save. They clear the ring. They pick up the tag titles to use the eventual match between FTR and the Acclaimed. Hopefully, the FTR eventually gets a shot at the fucking tag team titles. Because, god damn it, you're wasting time on that. Britt Baker is interviewed by Tony Schiavone, says that she wasn't showing up to their party. He is sick of the conspiracies. Jamie Hayter wants to wrestle. Britt Baker agrees, and she tells them to find him a tag team partner. AEW to find them a tag team to face on Dynamite. So that's gonna be so that's not Dynamite. I think that's either happening on Rampage or Dynamite. I'm pretty sure it's the same Rampage. Chris Jericho, Colt Cabana, ROH Championship. Jericho comes out, says Claudio took a tainted victory against him last week. Made him mad, and now he's ready for an open challenge against any former ROH champion. Which a lot of people assumed it was going to be just world championship, but he did specify it could have been world champion, TV champion, tag team champion, trios champion, or the 6-man champion, or the women's champion. Which if it was the women's champion, I would have had Mayu Iwatani come out and beat Jericho's ass. No, it was Colt Cabana, one of the loudest pops of the night, and probably one of the biggest fucking middle fingers to CM Punk. Should tell you everything we didn't need to know about how AEW has taken to what happened with CM Punk at All Out. The fact that he chose the Elite and Colt Cabana over CM Punk says a lot. A lot. That man is not coming back. And good. Fuck Phil Brooks for what he did to the good name of AEW. What he did at All Out was unnecessarily stupid and uncalled for. Burying the entire company like he did. And now he's making up a story. Now he keeps changing the story. Like first it was because this came out. There's the story that came out last week. While right before they aired the Elite vignette, there was a story that came out from Wrestling Inc. from Nick Hausman, a guy who technically started this whole thing with the whole CM Punk rant. The whole rant from CM Punk without even mentioning anything. He was in his presence, and which kickstarted the whole thing with the CM Punk going off on fucking AEW. There was a story that came out that Larry the dog got injured in the fight, which is very weird because originally the original report says that the Elite kicked in the door. Then the second Punk story was that no, it didn't. They didn't kick in the door, and now he's went back on his story that the Elite kicked in the door, and now out of all three of these stories, we're just now finding out about Larry the dog getting hit in the face with the door. What? Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. If CM Punk's dog was actually injured in the brawl out situation, wouldn't that be one of the first things to be coming out of the camp of CM Punk? Like 24 hours after that happened, or while it was going on. Like, come on now. Come up with a better excuse than that, Phil. Come on now. You're just trying to save faith. The Elite story has been the same since that story came out. The Elite story is they took a cop or security or something along the lines to Punk's locker room. They knocked on the door. Or no, I think the door was already open. Either it was open or locked. No, it was It was unlocked. It was knocked on the door. They opened it, and Punk went swinging, and the whole thing with the chair being thrown, and Omega getting Larry out of harm's way, the chair being thrown, fucking Ace Steel and his fucking rabies self, biting Kenny Omega and all that stuff has been the same story throughout this whole thing. I think I'm gonna believe the Elite here because they have not changed their story. Given that they haven't changed the story and Punk's story has never been the same, I'm gonna side with Elite, and I'm actually very thrilled that Tony Khan actually did the right call, right decision, and now they're looking to buy out CM Punk's contract. Good. Goodbye. And no, I don't want Phil Brooks back in WWE either. It's at this point like I was thrilled and cool and very excited to see him back, and then because I assumed, like everyone else did, that he changed for the better. He like I thought 7 years he was going to change. He said he was better. It was bullshit. Come on. All because of all because of that of one little thing that Hangman said at a Q&A session. Come on now. Fucking man up, Punk. Who is the fucking child now? Colt Cabana, huge pop of the night, huge Colt chants. No, a single CM Punk chant throughout the thing, which is funny. But in the end, Code Breaker, Jericho wins with the Code Breaker. Following that, we go the Jericho Appreciation Society goes up to the stage area, grabs Ian Riccaboni, wants to beat him up. Claudio Castagnoli runs out to make the save. Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta follow. That sets up thing. I'm assuming now. Here's what I think. I don't know if it's going to be a 6-man tag at All Out or at Full Gear. I'm assuming it's going to be Claudio, Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta versus Jericho, Sammy, and Daniel Garcia, or what? Some variation of the Jericho Appreciation Society. Renee Paquette interviews Ray Phoenix as he claims tonight he will be the double champ. But Pac then interrupts Ray Phoenix and says if Phoenix wants revenge, the hammer can be the golden ticket, and says it's something to think about. Then we got an All-Atlantic Championship match. Orange Cassidy retains against Luchasaurus and Ray Phoenix. Fun little match. Not if I had to go with a match of the night, this would probably be my match of the night. Luchasaurus gets targeted at the start because that's usually how it works. The bigger person in the match usually gets targeted. He's mostly out for most of the match, like not involved that much. At one point, Luchasaurus chokeslams Ray Phoenix to the timekeeper's area, to the table. The champion tries to fight back. Orange Cassidy gets pumped kicked up the ramp. He catches an attempted orange punch. That would be Luchasaurus that catches the orange punch. Luchasaurus then attempts to choke him off the apron. But Jungle Boy appears, attacks him with a chair, attacks Luchasaurus with a chair. They start running up the ramp. He chases off Christian Cage, then spears Luchasaurus off the ramp, off the stage area, through a table on the floor. That takes out Luchasaurus to the rest of the match. Pac then comes out to the ring with the hammer, handing it to Ray Phoenix. So Ray Phoenix thought about it and then just throws it to the ground like a fucking pussy. However, Cassidy almost catches him with a roll up, then he hits with the orange punch for the win. After the match, Pac starts attacking Orange Cassidy. with kicks and whatnot. Then fucking Shibata's music hits out of nowhere. New Japan Pro Wrestling Shibata. We saw Shibata at full, almost full gear. We saw Shibata at Forbidden Door, saving him from a beatdown from the United Empire. He comes out with the rest of best friends. Pac rolls out of the ring to avoid confrontation. However, Shibata then points at the championship. Orange Cassidy hands the contract because so the winner of the match also got to choose the dream match, his dream opponent at Rampage this Friday. Shibata signs it, so we get a match. It's gonna be Orange Cassidy versus Shibata for the All Atlantic Championship on Friday. The fact that I'm gonna miss that match is gonna be I'm excited. Oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna miss that. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. I'm so happy to see the Shibata wrestling again. That's good stuff. Oh boy, the match that got a lot of people talking and not in the best way as possible on Sunday afternoon. All because a YouTuber tweeted out that he didn't want to see Marina Shafir on the television screen, and after they try to make a case for it of why it should be on the television. Well, after the night, that's not what happened. This match, and one of my friends pointed this out. So that thing we're supposed to talk about coming off of Dynamite, was it how horrendous and repulsive that Jade Cargill and Marina Shafir match was? Oh my god. So, I'm not going to go into the specifics about what happened with he who shall not be named because I don't want to fucking stir up shit. I didn't want to say I don't usually like to agree with him because he's a fucking asshole. He blocked me on Twitter because probably because I'm associated with a few other people who don't like him either. But also, I don't agree with 98% of his, actually 80% of his takes. But he may have been right on this. Like, this did not need to be on television. This was, first of all, this match didn't make any fucking sense to begin with. Like, why are they having a match against each other? And why does Nyla Rose still have the fucking title? And why did they have Nyla Rose come out here and make it even less watchable? This was one of the worst fucking things I do never put this match again on television. I'm not even going to spend time talking about this. This was a waste of everyone's time. Never put this on my TV screen again. I am ready for fucking somebody to take that title off of Jade Cargill. I'm sorry, she's just not for me. She doesn't appeal to me. This is a Marina Shafir. I don't know how Tony Khan thought signing her was a good idea. Whoever gave him that idea should be fucking fired immediately as well. How the fuck you are with fucking one of the best talents in the world and what the fuck is his name? Roderick Strong. And Roderick Strong doesn't even bother to fucking teach you how to professionally wrestle correctly. Former Ring of Honor World Champion, by the way, doesn't want to teach you how to fucking wrestle properly. This was horrendous. That's all I'm going to say about this match. I'm moving on. This was utter dog shit. It's whatever. I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about this shit here. There was also a video package with Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter, which I loved, by the way. Which they basically gave you crux of the story. They moved in together during the pandemic, living in England because they couldn't travel. I guess it's true. I know it is true because she didn't come over. She did come over during the pandemic when she worked in NXT for a little bit before she only moved up to the main roster when they did when they did the move, when they started touring again. The only time that she appeared on the main roster during the pandemic was for the Royal Rumble. Even because she really wasn't supposed to be. She filled in for Mia Yim, who didn't have COVID, but was taking care of Keith Lee, who did have COVID. I believe that's what happened. I could be wrong on that. But backstory is they were best friends. Tony says they were best friends. Jamie Hayter says, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I just want what's mine. So it's going to be at Full Gear, which should be a bumper match. Not Jake. Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm for the Women's Championship. One of two things are going to happen here. Actually, one of three things are going to happen here. Tony Storm just beats Jamie Hayter clean. Jamie Hayter wins the championship. Or what I think is going to happen, Britt Baker costs Jamie Hayter the title, and we finally get that split from Hayter and Britt. I'm ready for that split to come. I'm ready for Jamie Hayter to become one of the biggest baby faces on the roster. But I also would not be, I said it the other week, I would not be opposed to Jamie Hayter winning the title. He's over, like mega over right now. And I would not be opposed to seeing Jamie Hayter win. I love me some Jamie Hayter. She's one of my favorites on the roster. So yeah, why not? She can cut a promo. She can talk. She's great in the ring. Like I said, great on the mic. She's over with the fans. She's been acknowledging the cheers that she's been getting on television. So yeah, why not? My favorite thing on this show, though, was the House of Black promo. We see three men being shown in bags, which ended up being Brody, Buddy, and Malachi. Well, okay, we only saw Brody and Malachi. I'm assuming the third one was Buddy Matthews. A voice asks if they've given up faith so quickly. We see Julia Hart end up burning and burying them and putting him into the water. Glimpses of all three. The three resurrections are shown with the voice of Malachi being heard, asking his father for forgiveness. So they're slowly going back into the Aleister Crowley thing that somewhat WWE was doing with Malachi before they released him. The dark father stuff. This does look like something. This feels and looks more Malachi hands-on than in the past. It was good stuff. I'm very happy that the House of Black is coming back, or is back at least for here. I missed Malachi Black on my TV screen. You know what? I've talked about this here. I would not mind Malachi. I wouldn't mind House of Black going over to Ring of Honor too to do some stuff. Challenge for the trio, the 6-man tag titles, or if you want to, challenge fucking. Oh no! Don't challenge Death Triangle for the tag titles. wait until the trios titles are off of Death Triangle. Then how about the House of Black challenge for the trios titles, or you can do him beating Samoa Joe for the television championship. That's what happened here. Samoa Joe beat Ryan Cage to retain the TBS title, or TBS title, the TV Ring of Honor TV title. I'm gonna be honest with you. Brian Cage bores the fuck out of me. I don't know what it is about Brian Cage I don't like. You know what? Maybe it's because I just didn't. When I've seen him no-sell a fucking pile driver to a table off the top rope, the fact that he no-sold that kind of pissed me. A Canadian story, I might add you. I turn off the top rope through a table. Irked me the wrong ways that you shouldn't have. I just don't like Brian Cage as a performer. I think he's one of the most boring wrestlers out there. He has no personality. And you wonder why he's not on TV very much. He has no personality to me. He's just a big guy who isn't really good in the ring. Mojo wins with a coquina clutch. Obviously, after the match, the Gates of Agony are on hand to jump Joe until Wardlow comes out to make the save. the embassy retreat up the rampway. However, while he focuses on them, Powerhouse Hobbs comes out and drops Wardlow with a spine buster, assuming setting up what looks to be Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship, probably at Full Gear. That's how Dynamite goes off the air. I didn't really care for that ending. Like, I don't get me wrong, I like Powerhouse Hobbs, but that was a weak ending to a weak episode of Dynamite, a really weird episode of Dynamite. Uh, some of the pluses here: Shibata is back. I love it. I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with Jeff Jarrett. I'm happy Malik, the House of Black, is back. Um, stoked for Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm. Other than that, not a lot of stuff I cared about on this show happened. Oh, Colt Cabana, which was coming back, which was hilarious to me. But everything else, everything was just not very good on the show. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about AEW Dynamite. Some of the other things here, quickly go over here. Vince McMahon investigation wrapped up. $19.4 million Vince McMahon owes and he cost the WWE a lot of money. He's not coming back. That was announced. That was somewhat confirmed during Fightful put out a report earlier about that. If I can pull that up here, Fightful. There was a lot of people asking when that news came out if whether or not Vince would be coming back to the company. Fightful says that sources say Vince McMahon is done with his previous roles, not coming back. Obviously, the roles that were taken over by Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and everybody in there. So he's not coming back. He's done. Let's keep it that way. I hope that's it. WWE is better off with Vince McMahon. So, yeah, so Vince is done, not coming back. Good. Triple H is doing outside of a few episodes, outside of the past two Raws we've had and SmackDowns. He's not like Raw's. I've enjoyed Raw and SmackDown a lot more than I have since Vince has been away. So, no, Vince, do not come back. I've somewhat enjoyed what I've been seeing. I enjoyed Clash of the Castle, and so did everybody else. 8 million point. I think it was 8 million. An $8 million gate, which is a huge. I hope they should after that, and after seeing that huge boost, they should be a yearly event in the UK. I'm okay with that. WWE did also confirm that, and I put this tweeted this here. WWE confirmed the White Rabbit project, as they called it, did cause the spike in tickets for Extreme Rules. Blades talked about that on the conference call that they did earlier today. Extreme Rules is one of the most watched programs because of that stuff. Pretty cool. So we'll see what happens with that. Bray Wyatt was on SmackDown last week. Very fun little segment. We got introduced to Uncle Howdy fully. A QR code that led to what was it? So I forgot I don't exactly remember what the QR code led to. But the URL to that sent you to a Nirvana song called "No One," the one who sold the world, or something like that, or something along the word alliance and whatnot. So that was pretty interesting stuff. But that's a little bit of the news I got there for WWE. What I'm going to be doing for SmackDown this week, like I said, I'm not going to be able to redo SmackDown. Like I said, I'm going to be at the fair, so there will be no SmackDown review this week. Like I said, I will not be covering Crown Jewel. So the pay-per-view schedule for this week, for this month, November 19th, AEW Full Gear. We also have New Japan Stardom's November 20th show, Start Crossover, which is going to feature Mayu Iwatani versus Kairi Hojo to determine the inaugural IWGP Women's Champion. And we have on December 10th, new Ring of Honor, or we have November 26th, a couple days later, which is Survivor Series War Games. On December 10th, we have a new Ring of Honor's full final battle, almost called Full Battle of Royal Rumble. Rumble next year. We got for the schedule for up until WrestleMania. We have Royal Rumble on January 28th, the Elimination Chamber on February 18th, and WrestleMania on April 1st and 2nd of 2023. That's the pay-per-view schedule for coming up. I will hopefully be back to doing Raw and SmackDown next week. Last week was a hectic week, obviously for personal reason. We had like I said, death in family and whatnot. That unfortunately stifled a lot of stuff that happened in the personal life. Then we had, Halloween on Monday. I was out with my family that night. So, and I will be out again with my family on Friday, going to the fair because it's one of the last days of the fair. Saturday's the last day of the fair, but we're going on a Friday. So why not? I didn't get to go last year, unfortunately. And I usually like to go almost every year when I get a chance to. So that's what's happening this coming week. Next week we have what's next week in told. Next week is one of the final weeks before Full Gear and a historic crossover. Next weekend is a very big weekend. You got, like I said, you got that Saturday Full Gear, and then you have that Sunday morning. I don't know how I'm gonna watch the show, but I'm gonna find a way to watch it. New Japan Pro Wrestling, historic crossover, with Stardom. Survivor Series War Games, like I said, is the following Saturday after that. So yeah, that's all I got here. If you like what you saw here, if you like what you saw here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below, follow the social medias at Mr. Wrestle TV. All those links are going to be in the description. That link tree is going to be in the description for all that stuff. If you watch the Raw review, thank you very much. I'm trying to list up the subscriptions here. Maybe I'm gonna try to score some interviews. Who knows? I'll figure something out. Until then, I've been Matt the Misfit. I will see you guys back here for Monday Night Raw. Until then, good night, everybody. We're out.